Hello everyone, Austin here, and today I want to talk about something that anyone who has dived into self-help or personal development will have heard of before: confidence. And that's all well and good until you kind of have to ask the question, well, how? First of all, what is confidence? And secondly, how are we just supposed to get more of it? Well, in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the little tiny things, the tiny changes you can make day in and day out that will help you build confidence, guaranteed. So let's get into it. First of all, what is confidence? Confidence is your internal belief that you can achieve something or that you will be okay despite a certain outcome. It's essentially the feeling or belief that you can rely on something or someone. And in this case, we're talking about yourself, that you can rely on yourself. Now in the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeffers mentions that a lack of confidence can be translated more into a lack of trust in yourself, and that this kind of feeling often happens when you let yourself down or you feel like you can't trust your own promises. Often this can happen due to certain failures or setbacks you have in your own life and in your own goals. For example, someone who makes a personal commitment to going to the gym 5 times a week and doesn't fulfill that 5 times is going to feel like they can't trust their own promises to themselves. And this is a huge spiraling pattern, because if you can't trust your own promises, what makes you feel like you can trust others' promises or that they can trust yours? So what can you do about it? What are these small things that can actually help make a difference and build you up as opposed to put you down? The first of which is forgiving yourself for your past. Now, if you keep the past overhead on your mind all the time, it's going to cloud your judgment. You're not going to be able to see ahead or see a better future if you're constantly reminding yourself of the times when you've let yourself down. So the first key is to forgive yourself for the past, which may be easier said than done. And really the only difference here is that you have to truly forgive yourself. You can't bring something up that bothers you at any certain point just because it feels convenient to do so. You need to truly let go of what the past and whatever power the past has over you right now, because now mentally and emotionally you're not dragging along the balls and chains of the past that you've had with you for this long. So the second thing you need to do to start building self-confidence is to stop comparing yourselves to others and start comparing yourself to who you used to be. Now this is different than bringing up the past, okay? This is comparing yourself based on improvements that you've made now, as opposed to comparing yourself to other people who may be further or less along in the game of life. The reason this helps you out is because you can start now focusing on making minor adjustments day by day that improve your own life, as opposed to compare yourself to someone who may be in an entirely different place in their life, and that bothers you by putting you down or making you seem less significant. And this is why social media is so damaging to people nowadays, is that people see the highlight reel of everyone else's lives on social media, and they have to compare that highlight reel with their own internal and problematic events that you're in the middle of every day, because only you live your life, only you know the ups and downs of it. Whereas on social media, all you're seeing are the ups. But if you can put away other people and only compare yourself today as to who you were yesterday, you can start on making tiny improvements that over time compound on themselves and give you huge amounts of improvement. It's all about the little improvements you can make, as opposed to the big, wild, spontaneous, dramatic changes. All right, the third thing you need to start doing now that you've built some self-confidence, setting realistic goals for yourself to achieve in the future, something you can really put your mind and your sight towards, as opposed to setting unrealistic goals, ones that only fuel the disappointment in your life. By setting goals that are too unrealistic, you will essentially be setting yourself up for failure. And that failure is going to once again affect the way you think about yourself. Setting realistic goals means doing your research about the goal. What does it take? How much time will it take? What are the baby steps you need to achieve before this overall goal is achieved? That's what you have to do, and that's what you need to start working towards. The thing you can actually start doing immediately right now that will help you build confidence is watching the way you talk to yourself. People don't realize it, but the language that they use to communicate either to others or themselves makes a huge difference in the way that person believes in what they say and how they feel about themselves. It's almost like a clue. In fact, Tony Robbins in his book Awaken the Giant Within mentions that this is a huge deal breaker in terms of your neural conditioning. The language that we use, in a way, almost controls how we feel. I'm a guitarist, okay? I like playing rock and roll guitar, I like playing acoustic and classical and all this stuff. So if I hear a riff, or if I hear a melody or something that is insanely complex to me, the way I talk to myself about how it is and whether it's achievable is going to affect my willingness to get started learning that riff. If I hear something insane and I go, oh, I'll never be able to learn that, don't you think that mentally I'm putting myself into a position where I won't even try? I am almost in that way quitting from the very beginning because I'm saying to myself I will never be able to do it. But if instead of saying you're never able to do it, what if instead you said, I could do this, I just need this much practice. Instead of putting yourself down, what you've done is not only admitted that you can do it already, which makes you more motivated to begin and try at something, but you also already willingly acknowledge the need for goals and actions that have to be taken before you achieve that thing, which makes it much more realistic and much less damaging to yourself if that thing isn't achieved as quickly as you may have liked. And the last, and this is going to be kind of a controversial rule, people say you need to accommodate for your weaknesses. I think that's BS. I think you guys should work on your strengths. Those strengths will be a few of the things that you can fall back and rely on if you need to give yourself some positive self-image. I think then it's always beneficial to increase the things and to capitalize on the things that you know you are good at. And in this way, among those things, you have something to focus on. You're not running around irregularly towards the next cool thing. You don't have that shiny object syndrome. You will know what you're good at. You will know what dedications you have and whatever commitments you have to whatever craft or hobby or anything it is in your life that you want to be fully committed in. And those kinds of things help build your self-confidence. So hopefully with these tips, you guys are able to lock it in a little bit more secure. You're able to get that confidence where you need it. And hopefully I was able to break down why poor self-confidence or self-confidence in general exists in the first place as a factor of your own trust. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I was able to help you out a little bit in this video. If you guys liked the video, please hit like and subscribe and leave us a comment telling us what tip or what tiny change in your life has completely racked your self-confidence and caused it to go through the roof. We're very curious about that, so let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.